so I can at least talk to like one person at least. Gotta tell at least one person how good God is. Come on, somebody. Anybody? Nobody? Well, I guess I'll just start talking and then, Lord, my eye so dry. Okay, so I'm just gonna start talking. So I don't know, cause I'm gonna download this and then upload it, so people can watch it later. For people who don't see the live, which it looks like nobody's gonna see the live at this point. Everybody's busy or something, or I'm being suppressed in the algorithm. I don't know. But anyways, so I don't know how much of recent things you guys have seen that I've posted. But for months I had been feeling like overly exhausted, and I just thought it was because I was working too much and going through too much emotional trauma, dealing with the maternal side of my family. And so I just attributed how I was feeling to that, like working too much and dealing with emotional stuff. And so I just kept pushing, kept trying to, you know, make it work. I had even gotten an overnight job at Circle K, which I never posted about it, but a few people close to me knew that I was working there. And so I worked there for a few weeks, but then I felt so exhausted, and I just thought, okay, it's because you're doing too much, you're trying to do too much or whatever. So I was only there for a few weeks, and then I felt so bad about myself, like, dang, you can't even do this. But I was trying to work overnight, also do my delivery job in the daytime, getting my kids back and forth to school, all of that. But I'm still like, you're always able to do everything and you can't do this, like, what's going on? That was like in July. So like August 14th, I asked my PCP to do some blood work on me so I can see, you know, if anything was going on that I needed to know about or whatever. So he did blood work August 14th. August 15th, the results came back, and my hemoglobin ended up being 7.2, I think. Now, by all rights and purposes, he should have immediately sent me to go get a blood transfusion immediately. But he did not. What he did, and I didn't know this at that time, of course, because I would have advocated for myself. But what he said was he wanted me to go see a new gynecologist and figure out why I bleed so heavily on my cycles. So he gave me a referral, and it wasn't even like a direct referral. He just gave me her card, and I set it up myself. And so I made an appointment with her initially, but I couldn't get to the appointment. I just had so much stuff I was taking care of. And then when I finally got the appointment, like concrete, okay, I'm gonna go see what's going on. So I went into the office. I saw her. She was really nice, very concerned. And so when she saw the blood work results from my PCP, she immediately got upset. She was angry. She was like, what is he doing? He should have sent you to get a blood transfusion. We need to check your levels right now. So she also had me give blood so they can test it, which I did that right in her office. And she was extremely worried, and so that worried me, you know, because I'm just thinking I'm just tired. I'm not thinking nothing of it. So that worried me, right? So I believe it was, I don't know the date for sure, but anyway, it was like 2 or 3 days later, she called me and she was like, I need you to go to the hospital tonight. Can you go tonight? Mind you, she called me like right after I had just got done having a video conference appointment for my youngest daughter, who had the week prior to this gotten suspended from school. And so we were in waiting of the final decision of her major consequence for what she did. And so I had just got done with that video conference and found out that she would have to do 30 days at an alternative school. So I'm already grappling with that, right? And so she calls me and tells me I got to get to the hospital immediately to get a blood transfusion. And so I'm still not grasping, you know, what's really going on. Obviously I know it's serious, but I'm still it's not really clicking for me. So of course I call my sister Crystal, I let her know what's going on, and she makes plans to come meet me at the hospital. And of course so she stayed at the hospital with me that night, and then she took the girls to school the next morning. But I'm thinking I'm gonna get out in 24 hours. First of all, I didn't even think I was gonna have to stay, mind you. So yeah. So, but I'm thinking, okay, well, they admit me, I'm gonna get out in 24 hours. No, did not get out in 24 hours. I didn't get out the hospital until 8 days later. 8 days I had to stay at the hospital, and they did not want me to leave the hospital when I left the hospital. But some of you probably saw the post where I was talking about I'm getting out the hospital this morning, and instead of resting, I'm gonna have to hit the ground running, because I stressed to them how important it was that I get out the hospital that day, because I had to pay my light bill by 11:59 that night, and I did not have all the money. I had friends, some that have never met me, some I went to high school with, all of that started donating to me once I made that post. And normally I don't say what I'm in need of or what's going on. I'll just do a bundt cake fundraiser. I'm sure y'all saw that too. But the fundraiser was going, but not a lot of people was, you know, hitting it up. So, but I was just being transparent about what I was dealing with, because I was really like worried, right? And God told me, you know, make the post, so I did. So people donated. I also went to work that day. I was able to pay my light bill that, you know, when it needed to be paid. So I was grateful for that, right? Super tired. I didn't overwork myself like I normally do. I just went slow. It took me a long time to deliver the packages. Okay, cool. Oh, also while I was in the hospital, I got 2 units of blood and 4 iron infusions as well, because my levels were horrendously low. So anyway, so I got out the hospital, I believe on a Thursday, right? Worked that day. I did not get to work the next day, I don't think, which was Halloween, or maybe I did. No, I think I did. The girls didn't have school, so I did work Friday. Saturday, I didn't work. Sunday, I tried to work, couldn't work, and I think that was God's way of telling me to rest. And so, you know, I was home. And then I had a game plan for Monday morning, because when they put your in HISD, when they put your child in, when they have to go to the alternative school, you have to withdraw them from their home school and enroll them, right? So I had a game plan. I'm gonna drop my oldest off at her high school, and I'm gonna take my youngest to, you know, withdraw, enroll, all that, right? And so we go outside to the parking lot to get in the car. I gotta warm the car up. It's cold. There's no car. My car is gone. It's like, y'all, it's gone. And also my game plan was to go pick up some seat covers that I purchased, because I plan to start giving rides for Uber, because I already do Uber Eats. So I was like, let me add the ride side, but I needed seat covers because my kids, they don't take care of my seats. And so I wanted my little black seat covers on there, so when people get in, they ain't got to worry about nothing getting on their clothes, XYZ, whatever, and it looks nice in there. Go outside though, and I don't have a car. I knew that it didn't get towed by the apartment complex. I already knew that it got repoed because I was behind, but I thought that I was not so far behind that they would come take it, like that I had time to start doing the Uber along with my delivery jobs, and then I would be able to pay something and they wouldn't take it. Well, God said no, that's not what's gonna happen. You gonna go outside and your car gonna be gone. So car was gone. Go upstairs. Of course I'm crying and boo-hooing. Call Crystal, tell her what's going on. You know, she's upset for me as well. And then, you know, after I cry, I was like, okay, I gotta figure something out. So I get on and try to find rental cars, because mind you, also when I got out of the hospital, I think the next night or the same night when I got out, one of my friends that I have never met, she was one of the first people to purchase from me and my ex when we started our business. She donated money to me. It was not a small amount. So I'm over them, like, grateful, right? And then two of my high school friends, they called me and they donated to me a large sum of money, right? Not enough to, well, it would have been enough to pay 1 month on my car, which is why the Monday I was like, okay, I got this, so I can put something with it and I can keep them from taking my car. But that didn't happen. Go outside, the car is gone. So I was like, okay, I at least need to rent a car so that I can get the girls to school and I can get to my appointments, because I still have to take care of me. Like, my levels are still not where they're supposed to be, right? So I found a rental car, was able to pick up the car at 2 p.m. that day, right? And so, you know, rental cars are not cheap. So I watch you often. Crystal's my cousin. I stay in Wisconsin. How are you doing today? Hey, so rental cars are not cheap. So I initially reserved it from that Monday afternoon to Friday, right? And I was like, if I make enough money, I will just extend the rental. And so I rented the car. The next day I went to go enroll Gabby, and then she couldn't start that day, because when you enroll them, they can't start the same day, they start the next day. So that Wednesday she started at the alternative school, and then I worked throughout, and then I was able to extend the rental up until that month, the next Monday, right? So I extended the rental. So I worked every day. So Sunday, while I was working, here's this the part y'all really want to hear, right? Wait, what is this? Let's see. It's saying remove background noise. Okay, so Sunday, this just past Sunday, today's Wednesday, this Sunday, I'm working, and I typically have issues when I'm delivering, and I probably might get a little attitude, or I'll make a video and post it on TikTok, Facebook, whatever, you know, to educate people how they should act when they ordering stuff and how to treat the drivers. I ain't do none of that. I was just listening to my gospel music, and I was just, you know, thanking the Lord for even me having a way to do what I was doing, right? So, like, it was delay after delay after delay after delay. And so the longest delay that I had, typically I would have been like, okay, well, I don't feel like trying to figure this out. I'm just going to take your stuff back to the store. But hold on. Sorry about the noise. That's one of my jobs. Okay, so anyway, I'm texting the client. I'm calling them because I can't get into the parking garage to the Amazon locker. It's totally secure thing, and he's not home. And so we trying to figure it out. Another resident came out. He tried to help me figure it out. Like, everybody was so sweet. I was so sweet because I'm always sweet unless you give me a reason not to be sweet, right? So I finally got in. And then I put I couldn't even get into the locker because I didn't have a code. But it was another guy working, delivering. He left it on so I could use it, deliver his stuff, and then I get to this next person's house, right? So this particular person had 2 orders, 4 items total, 2 things in each order. and it wasn't like light stuff, right? So I had to get my little wagon out of my car. I got my little wagon out, and there's no way that I could get in her gate. Like, she lived like with duplexes, but I'm assuming that the residents have like a fob or, you know, a clicker or something that they click, and the drive up gate opens when they get home. And so there was a walk up gate, but it wouldn't open for me, y'all. I'm pulling on it, it would. Matter of fact, I didn't even go to the walk up gate yet. So I saw that I couldn't drive in, so I called her thinking she might be at home. And so, hello. And so when I called her, she was like, oh, no, I'm not home, but there's a walk-up gate. And I said, is there a code? And she was like, no, there's no code. Oh, no, that's when I asked her. I said, I need a code for the gate. And she was like, no, it's not a code. You can just open it. And I'm like, okay. So I get all her stuff out the car. I load it into the wagon and pull the wagon over to the gate and try to open the gate, and the gate will not open. It just would not open. I'm pulling it. Now, the bottom part of the gate is kind of coming out, right? Like it wants to open, but it wouldn't open. And so I called her back, and I was like, hey, I don't know what's going on, but the gate won't open. And she was so shocked, like, oh, really? That's crazy. You know, she was like, I'm about a mile away. Can you wait? And I was like, sure, no problem. I said, I'm just gonna move my car because I'm in front of the drive-up gate, and I want you to be able to get in. So I went around, parked on the side, and stood with the wagon and her items until she got there. And so she pulls in, and I go ahead and pull the wagon in behind her, and we get up to the porch, and she's helping me get the stuff out the wagon. A lot of people don't help you get their stuff. They be like, I paid for this delivery, give me my money's worth. Which I totally get it. If you paid for it to get to your door, you want it at your door, right? But some people are nice and sweet, and they help. And so she helped. And even the heaviest thing, I was trying to get it because this is my job. And she was like, no, I got it. I can lift it up. And she's like, she's not old, but she's older, right? Gray hair. She this. She not this. She this, right? And so she helping me. She's real sweet. And so we talked a little bit, and she ended up handing me $10 cash for a tip. Now, I told y'all I was in a rental. The day before, Saturday, I'm working, right? The tire pressure goes low on the front right tire. And I'm like, what the hell? Maybe it's because it's cold, right? Because tires do that. So I'm like, let me go put some air real quick so I can finish this batch of orders I'm delivering. I go put air. I get to the next delivery spot. The air is gone. It's going out again. So I had saw a tire place across the street from the gas station. So I said, okay, I'm gonna double back and go to the tire place. I double back, went to the tire place. They took the tire off. You know how they spray it. It had a hole in it. I was like, okay, how much to plug it? He was like, $10. I'm like, cool. I don't have a choice. This is a rental. Yes, true enough, but I'm working. I don't have time to wait on nobody to get all that extra stuff. And I ain't pay for no roadside or none of that because I'm barely paying for the rental. So they do the tire or whatever. And so when she tipped me the $10 on Sunday, she probably thought I was overly grateful for the $10 because to her it's just $10. But to me, it was God paying me back for that $10 I had to pay for that tire, which I did have to pay $10.35 because I paid with a card. But hey, I got my $10 back, right? So I was so happy, so appreciative or whatever. And I was like, you just don't even know. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I said yesterday, I had a tire losing all the air in the rental that I'm using to work or whatever, and it was $10. So I got my money back. You know, God worked it out or whatever. And she was like, oh, it's no problem, thank you so much for waiting. And I was like, you gave me a break. It wasn't no wait now. And she was walking me out, y'all, walking me back to the street. She went to the walk-up gate. The walk-up gate opened for her with no problem. Like, literally, she just pushed it and it opened. Now, I was pulling from the outside. She was on the inside, but she just pushed it. She ain't unlocked nothing. She just pushed it, and it opened, right? And I'm like, how, like, what's going on? How did that work, right? That's what I'm thinking. How did that work? So she was like, I don't know. I knew it wasn't locked, and I didn't know what was going on, right? And so I was like, thank you, you know, have a good day. She's like, have a good day too or whatever. So I get back in the car, and I think I'm on my third delivery after her, and somebody's calling me from the work app, right? And I'm like, who calling me? Because it says my Spark delivery or whatever when a customer calls. But I'm like, I thought that maybe it was the man whose house I was across the street from calling me, like thinking, well, what's taking her so long, right, to get out the car, or trying to see where I'm at, because he wouldn't know what car I was in because the rental was not on the app or nothing like that. And so I answer the phone, and it's the woman that I had just saw earlier that tipped me $10. And she was like, yeah, you delivered to me a little while ago. And I was like, probably, because I didn't know who she was. I'm like, probably, or whatever. And so I'm thinking maybe I forgot one of her items. I was like, I don't even know how that would happen, but because I'm very particular and I do my shit right. So anyway, she's like, no, I've been trying to reach you for a little while or whatever. And I was like, well, what's going on? And she was like, I don't know what it is or what you're going through, what's going on, but God told me to help you. Like, what's going on? What's your plan, like, with the rental? Like, why are you using the rental, right? This is what she asking me. And so, because like I say, the $10 and the rental conversation, it just came up, like, it wasn't like I was sitting there dumping all my mess on her, right? And so I told her about the car getting repoed and stuff like that, and she was like, well, I'm not trying to be nosy, but how much is the rental? And so I told her, and then she was like, okay, well, how much is your car note normally? And I was like, a lot. And I told her the amount, and she was like, but that's monthly. And she was like, the rental, you paying way more, keep renewing this rental than paying your car note or whatever. I said, yeah, I know, but I really don't have a choice right now, right? And I'm like, it's just too much in a lump sum to you know, get my car back. And so she was like, how much is it? And I told her. It was, and I'm gonna tell y'all the amount, $1,928 and change, right? This is what I told her, and I'm still not thinking nothing of this conversation. And I'm telling her, I was like, yeah, that's just too much to try to borrow from somebody or anything like that, so I'm gonna just have to do what I have to do with the rental. This woman tells me, well, what if I give you the money? Huh? You mean me, the person you just met delivering your stuff that you don't know from a can of paint? You want to give me $1,928 and change? That's what you want to do? And I was like, huh? Wait, what? I said, what you mean? What are you saying? Like, what do you mean? She was like, I've been blessed and God told me to reach out to you and help you. She said, it's a bit more than I was expecting, but it's no problem. I can do it. And I was like, huh? And she was like, do you have Zelle or Venmo? And I was like, yeah, I have both of them. I said, but I want to verify with the finance company and see what's going on, and I want you to be able to hear it and all of that. Like, I'm used to, I've seen people scam people and all that type of stuff. So I'm never gonna do that. I've never been like that, right? I'm always transparent with anything, especially dealing with other people's money and them helping me or offering to help me or me asking, whatever. And so I was like, okay, it's Sunday, so they're closed today. I can call you tomorrow, like when they open, right? And she was like, oh, okay, that's fine. You know, she wasn't tripping. She didn't have to hear it. She was literally just going to send me the money right then. But I was like, I'm going to call you in the morning, you know, when they open so you can hear it on the phone or whatever. And she was like, she had texted me afterwards, and she was like, if you need a ride to, like when you drop off the rental, if you need a ride to go get your car, I'll take you to do that too. And I said, I was just literally trying to figure that out in my head. Now, mind you, yes, I didn't know this woman. I didn't know her just like she didn't know me. But when she said what she said, I had no worry or anything that she wasn't going to do what she said, because God told me she going to do what she said she going to do because I told her to do it, right? So I'm already trying to figure things out. Now, mind you, of course, Crystal, if she had to get up and leave her bed in Rosenberg and come all the way to 1960 and meet me at the rental car place and take me to get my car, she would have did it. But she got two little babies. They getting over being sick. I be trying not to have people do extra stuff when it comes to me, even though people don't be having a problem doing extra stuff when it comes to me because I'm me, right? But I don't be feeling like I deserve all that. But I'm working on that. But anyway, so I was like, I was just trying to figure that out in my head. And I was like, okay, so I'll call you, you know, once I drop the kids off at school. So I drop the kids off at school. I go down the street parked at the gas station, and I just took a picture of this gas station on the way coming here to this park. It's the same gas station. So I don't know if y'all remember when I had my desserts inside of a restaurant a while back, like a seafood restaurant. So the seafood restaurant was attached to the gas station. This is the same gas station I parked at Monday morning, right? Not even thinking about it. Parked there. I called her first and I was like, good morning. She's all happy. Good morning. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna call them so you can hear it. So I called the finance company on three-way, verified all my information, and they're like, told me the amount and how the process will work and all of that. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna give y'all a call back. And then the lady, her name is Anita. So Anita, she just interjected and she's like, well, wait a minute, can the third part, can I just pay it right now instead of her having to call back? And I'm looking at my phone like, do what? You about to do it right now? And so they was like, yeah, that's fine. She just has to give me permission to talk to you and da-da-da. And I'm like, it's fine with me. Who am I to say no? And so she give them the card number, expiration date, name, all that. Paid $1,928 and change plus a $3 and something fee to pay with a card, right? Paid, y'all. Now, mind you, when she told me she was going to do this on Sunday, I'm praising in the car. I'm crying. I already got my gospel going, and I'm clapping and praying and just thanking God. Just thanking God, period. And so on the phone, it's just washing over me like, God really did that. God really reached this woman and touched her, and she helped me. And so, that may be a drop in the bucket in the money this woman got. I don't know her business like that, but to me, the amount, yes, that's a big thing, right? But the fact that this woman don't know me at all, literally don't know me, nothing like that, and she did that, you know what I'm saying? And so that got done, and she took care of that, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, oh my God. And I'm thanking her and all of that. So when we hung up with the finance company, me and her having a talk, and I said, do you know that you shouldn't have even been able to call me after I delivered your items, like when you called me? And she was like, I had a really hard time reaching you. She was like, I was going through the app and they had it like 2 separate orders, and every time I would click, so first she was going to tip me more on the app or whatever, but then she wanted to talk to me. So she kept trying to contact driver, and it kept closing out really quick on her. So she kept trying. And finally she got it, and it called me, right? And I'm telling y'all, I'm not making this up. After you deliver to a customer with this job, they cannot contact you once you swipe their stuff delivered. They literally cannot. It's no way. So the way that the app works, when I call a customer or when they call me, when I'm on their order, it blocks. Like, it doesn't show their number, it doesn't show my number. It's like routed through a different number, right? So she didn't have my number. She hit call me in the app, and it actually called me, but she was not supposed to be able to call me. So first of all, God is strategic, right? So I told y'all all the delays that I dealt with all day long, right? All day long. But instead of me getting upset, I was just, you know what I'm saying, praising God, because at least I can still do my job, right? So he delayed me enough to where I would be at her house when she was close enough to get there, and made me sit in my patience, right? So I can wait on her to get there so we can talk, like had that little brief conversation, right? So, and made it possible. And he really touched her, because most people, even if they want to talk to somebody, if it gives them a hassle, they're gonna be like, oh, that mean I ain't supposed to do it, right? So she got through, and I'm telling her, she was like, it was just something about talking to you. She was like, you were so happy, so you were smiling so much, and just happy to be working and doing your job, and you were so appreciative of the $10, and God just told. But she was like, it was something behind your eyes, right? She said it was something behind your eyes. I could tell you was going through something. I could tell it was something going on. And she said, God told me to help you. So I called to figure out what was going on and how I could help. She was like, granted, I didn't think it was going to be as much money as it was, but that's nothing. Like, I can make that back. That's nothing to me, right? And she was like, so, and when I was at her house and we were talking, she said that, like, she has a daughter, she's 20 something years old or whatever, and she does like physical labor type work, but she like complains a lot and things like that or whatever. And but I was just so happy to be doing my job, because like, y'all, I'm grateful that I was in the hospital for 8 days, and it didn't hit me until I got out of the hospital that I was dying. And I didn't know. I just thought I was tired. The doctors was all looking at me and worried and all of that, right? And how I deal with trauma most of the time, I make a joke and I laugh. So me and Crystal was laughing on the phone the night I went to the hospital. We made a joke, because she was like, where is the blood going? Where's my blood going? Because by the time the gynecologist called me to go to the hospital, my stuff had went from 7.2 to 6.1. And then from when she drew my blood and I got to the hospital, it had went down even more in just 3 days. So I was literally dying, y'all. And I just thought I wasn't getting no rest. I wasn't getting enough rest. And I'm still thinking I'm not doing enough. And so me and the girls got to move June 30th, right? And I still haven't, everything is not unpacked in the house, and that's not a big deal. Most people take a long time to pack, but for me, growing up, if you resting or whatever, you're not doing enough, you lazy. And so I'm just I was down on myself for not being able to get things together and do more when I'm fighting against my body. I'm dying, and I didn't know, right? And so even with that though, even with what I'm going through or what's going on in my head, I still don't be trying to put that off on other people. So especially while I'm working, because I've been in customer service since I started working, and I treat people how I want to be treated. So I'm just nice and pleasant, period, until you give me a reason not to, right? And so that it really spoke to her and touched her. So she listened to God, because she still could have been like, I'm tripping, right? But no, this lady, sorry, that's the thing, because I didn't take the hold on. So she was like, she was so touched and so moved by how I was or whatever, my spirit, that she had to help, and she helped. So, and then I'm like, if God would have let me move with my plan, which was to do the Uber and try to pay at least 1 month so they wouldn't take it, I still would have been behind, right? And I still would have been scrambling to play catch up. But God said, hold on, watch this. It might look like it's over, right? But it's not. So had he not let my car get repossessed and worked everything out so that I could meet this lady, I would still be scrambling. But I met her, and now I'm not behind in my car note. I'm not behind at all. I got time to pay the next car note. I don't have to overwork myself and do it, because that's what I do. I'm gonna make it happen by any means necessary, right? Because of my kids. My oldest, her daddy locked up. He didn't help when he was out. My youngest, he not locked up. He right here in town. He don't help. I got on him when I got out the hospital. He don't care. He said he didn't want to hear my mouth. Cool. But at the end of the day, nobody can ever say I'm not gonna go out and do what I need to do for my kids, because I've always done that. I'ma always do that, right? So that is why I am the way I am with people, because even though life get hard for me and I'm dealing with being rejected by family, mistreated, all of that, 100% of every bad day that I have, I've survived, right? I'm right here. I could have died, right? But I didn't. He didn't let that happen. He didn't let that happen. He sat me down so I could rest. Even though I'm in the hospital still worrying, scrolling Indeed, finding another job. I signed up with another job while I was in the hospital. I started with them over the weekend. Like, my mind is always going, because I know, yes, I'm gonna have people help me here and there, but they got their own stuff, their own family, so I gotta make it happen for them, right? So, but God sat me down and he worked that out. Like, I could have been so sad, and so, which I was sad initially, but I got in go mode. You gotta have a plan, you gotta get it done. So I could have let that totally knock me off, right? And then nothing would have worked out the way God had already planned it to work out. So everything happened how it was supposed to happen, right? And it's mind-blowing to me. And so I didn't tell the girls what I found out that Sunday, that she was gonna help me. I wanted to surprise them when I got the car. I didn't get the car Monday because it was a whole issue. I set the appointment for Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock. I let her know, and she was like, okay, I'll meet you over at the Budget at 9 a.m. because the appointment to pick it up was at 10 a.m. We both got there right about the same time. So we ride over to the place, and we talking as we, you know, waiting on the car and stuff. And her personality is, she's so cool, y'all. She's so cool. And a lot of things that I've been through, she haven't been through the same things, but she connected with my story, the little bit that I did tell her, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, God did that. That's all I can say. God did that. So I didn't tell the girls. So yesterday when I picked them up, I recorded them walking up to the car, because of course they're gonna be looking for the rental car. Now I ain't gonna hold y'all, the rental car was nice. It was a 2025 Ford Edge, right? But when I got behind the wheel of my car, I felt at home. You like my truck? No, I'm saying, I felt at home. Like, it just was the perfect fit. Like, the rental car was nice, cool, everything big. But when I got in my car, I was at home, and it felt so good just to see it and look at it and know that it didn't get sold. It was at the auction, y'all. They picked it up Monday, or between Sunday night, Monday morning. By Friday, it was at the auction already. The finance company didn't even know where it was. It was a whole hassle. They was giving me attitude. They was being real rude. And I stayed respectful. I stayed patient. But I also advocated for myself. And I didn't just take what people told me. Got it all figured out. Got the appointment set. Got the car. Right? So, picked the girls up. And Gabby couldn't really see when she was coming out of the school. But she was looking down because I was standing by it. And she was looking down at the license plate like, am I trippy? But the sun was in her eyes and stuff. And she was like, how you got the car? I was like, God. And then she was like, looked at the camera. She was like, hey, y'all. I was like, girl, ain't nobody on here. So we get in the car, and I tell her how, and she just started praising God and thanking God, and she was just so happy, y'all. I wish I would have recorded that part, but I had already cut the video off. So then later on, we go pick up Jamari. And so she went to go like do a little study group with her friend at Starbucks. So I hide in the parking lot, right? And I text her, hey, we already in the parking lot, walk towards the grocery store. And so I got my phone ready, and she walking over, and she looked at me, and she was just, this is a my bad. Even if my phone is on vibrate, but that the sound, you can't cut it off. Anyway, so I'm already recording. As soon as she saw me, she's like, sorry, because she think I'm upset. That's why I'm out the car, because it was taking her a long time. That's the devil. He hates me. He hates me, right? So, it was taking her a long time, so she thought I was upset, and that's why I was standing outside the car. But then when she looked at me, and then she looked at the car again, and she was like, wait a minute. She was like, car! My car! And she laid on the hood, and she was like, my car! And she even kissed the hood, y'all. Like, my baby was happy to see the car. Both of my babies was happy to see the car. But I got Jamari's, like, excited reaction on video or whatever. So she was so happy. And then I told her how it happened. I'm like, God is, that's why I be telling y'all to say y'all prayers and to have faith and try to be the best version of y'allself that y'all can be. And, like, God will work it out. I said, because there's no way. You can't tell me that ain't God. Like, who that happened to? You know what I'm saying? People that do wrong and mess over people, you might get a little benefit for a little bit of time, but the karma that's gonna come back on you at the end of the day is not worth whatever you finna get. You know what I'm saying? And so God just let me know, like, I got you always. Like, I already knew, but my faith was, I ain't gonna lie and say my faith wasn't wavering, because since 2025 came, it's been thing after thing after thing after thing after thing, right? And so I'm like, when I first saw that the car was gone, I'm like, hold up. So I get out the hospital and I'm ready to go to work, and now the car gone? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? But I just had faith, you know what I'm saying? And praising God while I'm working and being me. And he worked it out. Like, y'all just don't even know. Then I had to put my license plates back on, because they had already took them off when I went to get my property out the car the Tuesday after they took it. And so I had to go to AutoZone because they didn't leave the screws. So I went to AutoZone, and the young lady that was working there, she was helping me put them on. And so we was talking or whatever, and I told her what happened, and she was moved. Like, she had tears in her eyes when I told her. And I just feel like when God bless you, you should share that with people so people know how good God is. And y'all know I don't just share the good, I share the bad too. A lot of people might be tired of hearing about the bad, right? You know, it might get heavy for a lot of people, and I get it. It's heavy going through it, but I listen to God and I do what he tell me to do. So when he tell me to talk, I talk. When he tell me to shut up, I shut up. When he tell me to do something, I'ma do it. And I've been obedient, and because I've been obedient, he worked that thing out. So I had to get on here and tell y'all how he worked that out, because I'm still in awe. I'm still like, for me, you know what I'm saying? For me, right? But I've always been the type to just be a good person. Like, I'm not a perfect person. I mess up. I may get angry. I might get upset, but I never mess over people or do people wrong or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So why not me? Of course God was gonna figure it out, but he had to figure it out in his way. He had to work it out to where I wouldn't continue to overwork myself, and I had to look at it, start looking at the way I'm moving. Like, yes, you need to make sure your kids taken care of, but you got to take care of yourself too. You got to take care of you first, and then you can take care of your kids too, because if you're not good, you're not gonna be here for them. I was literally dying, y'all. I can't stress that enough. I was dying and thought, oh, I just can't get enough rest. I was gonna get some rest. It was gonna be I was going to the upper room. Listen. So I've been making it a point to listen to my body, not push myself, and take better care of me. Monday I had an appointment to get another iron infusion. The guy stuck me 3 times in this arm, 3 times in this arm, and he couldn't get no blood. So I have to go back on Monday. So my body, everything is still not right. I'm still super tired all the time, but I'm taking my iron 2 times a day, drinking water, doing what I need to do. But it's still stuff that got to get figured out. So I still need prayers, so pray for me. I pray for everybody, especially the people I love, especially the people that have helped me. And I'm not just talking about financial. I'm talking about prayers and just kind words and checking on me and stuff like that. Like, I'm appreciative of everything that people give me or say to me or do for me, because I don't feel like I deserve any of it, because that's what I was taught. That's how I was brought up, that I didn't deserve nothing unless I was proving my worth, working for it. I'm not useful unless I'm performing. I'm doing something. But God's showing me, like, no, you just gotta listen to me and be yourself, and I'm gonna work it out. So yeah, it just keep going. I guess they need people to deliver food tomorrow. I don't know. But I just had to come on here and share that with y'all. And so y'all tell somebody, and they tell somebody, and they tell somebody, so everybody can know how good God is, because he's so good. $1,928 from somebody that don't know me at all, and I got my car back, and I can go to work, and now I'm not behind, and I can keep my car. Y'all just don't know. Y'all don't know how grateful I am. I know that I've said it here, but y'all just I don't even have the words to give it to y'all, right? I don't have them. I'm just grateful. Nobody but God did that. God did that. And I'm just gonna continue to be who he called me to be, who he created me to be. That's just that. I'm blessed. Y'all be blessed. I'm finna get off of here, but I had to come share that with y'all. I'm finna probably do like a 15-minute walk. I did a 15-minute walk yesterday, and my goal was 30, but I couldn't do that. My body was like, you're doing too much, granny. I feel like a granny, y'all, because when I start moving, I get out of breath still. So 15 minutes, that's all I'm gonna do. And then it's gonna be time to pick Gabby up from school. I'm right by her school. So I haven't been walking or exercising in months, and I just thought, oh, you just too tired, you just doing too much. No. So anyway, I'm trying to gradually work up work back up to it. Chris was like, you doing too much with that 30. You start with 15. So I'm gonna do my little 15 minutes today like I did yesterday, and we're gonna keep it pushing. Eventually I'll be back to where I was, but I'm finna creep on around here like the Golden Girls or something, and we're gonna get it done. But tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. God is good all the time, okay? All right, y'all, I'm gone. Thanks for watching. I love y'all.